All right, so in this video, I'm going to share with you how to stop comparing yourself with others. Now, this is something that I've struggled with my whole life. And as with all my videos, like I'm not a saint, right? I'm just sharing these things that I've overcome to help you. So I'm going to go into my story of what I used to struggle with when I was comparing myself to others. But first of all, it's really important to understand that Theodore Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy, right? So when we're comparing ourselves with others, we're actually robbing ourselves of joy and happiness. And it's literally an epidemic right now in the world because we got Instagram. And Instagram is what I always talk about, the land of not being enough, right? Like everyone on Instagram is posting their highlight reel of their life. Like I can tell you for absolute fact that all the stuff you see on Instagram, even though it's amazing stuff, it's people's highlights, okay? And they're not living like that every day. Like no one's happy every single day, 100% of the time, okay? People just don't show you that shit part because why would they, right? But actually, that's why I'm doing these videos, because I want to show you that even though you perceive others as being better than you or doing better than you, it's actually often not the case, okay? Because first of all, you're comparing their chapter 8 with your chapter 1. That's what I was doing for so long. I would look at people further ahead than me in what I'm doing and then start feeling shit about myself because that guy is so further ahead than me, right? Like I could never be as good as that guy. And in fact, this happened to my brother. My brother's a music artist. And when he was starting out, there was this guy and he was making these cover songs on YouTube. And my brother was like, oh, I could never be as good as that guy. And I was like, no, of course you can, but you'll never be as good as him if you don't start, right? And so he's comparing himself, of course, it's natural, but the act of doing over time actually led him to become better than that guy who he once thought was like better than him. And now he is way more talented than the guy that, you know, could have prevented him from getting started because he was believing the negative stories. Like when you compare yourself to someone else, you just start believing the negative stories about why you are not good enough. When really the truth is that you are, but it's just because what you see is everyone else succeeding and you're not, right? Like for me, for example, when I had a panic attack 2 years ago now, this was the result, this was the cause of it, because I was comparing myself to other people who were making more money than me, who were doing more cooler things than me, and I wasn't doing as cool as they were. Like I was doing okay for myself, but not as good as them, right? And so I was continuously comparing myself, which made my mind go into the future, had anxiety, and then I had a panic attack, okay? And it wasn't until I focused on accepting those feelings that I was able to get rid of it and, you know, be present in the moment. But, you know, comparing yourself is just like, it's so damaging to your mental health that you start doubting yourself. And whenever you have that doubt that creeps into your body, into your mind, then it actually cripples you. It actually paralyzes you, gives you that inertia, and you don't even want to do anything because you're like, why would I even try? Like there's so many people doing what I'm doing. Why would I even make YouTube videos? There's so many people doing YouTube videos, you know, and you start believing these negative thoughts. They're not even true, but you think they're true. And then all of a sudden you stop doing the thing, right? That's what happens to me so many times. Like I start believing these negative thoughts. And it's all because I'm comparing myself to someone who also had these thoughts most likely, but they're just, you know, just took action. And also another thing is people are really good at hiding what is going on in their life. So when you look online, you see people's highlight reels, right? And you think that's real life. We all think that's real life. Like I used to think, oh, this person, like they're always happy. Like they're just always crushing it in business, you know, like, wow, like fuck, their life must be so amazing. And you start making up all of these imaginations about how amazing their life is because they do one thing well. Well, actually, in my experience, like usually like the people that are presenting like their best self all the time are the people that have a lot of shit going on in their life and they don't share it, right? Like, why would you? I mean, that's what most people think. And so most people have that idea of this perfect life that they strive for, but it's actually not real because the reality of the situation, the reality of most people's lives is not that glamorous, okay? So it's like, would you trade lives with that person? When you're watching stuff on social media, you probably say yes, but the reality is no one has it amazing and everyone's just trying to do the best they can with what they know, all right? So one of the things that I do a lot is I compare myself to people when I'm training jiu-jitsu. And one of my coaches, he said, why are you comparing yourself? Like, why are you always comparing yourself to that guy? He's on his journey, I'm on my journey. Like, stay in your lane, focus on yourself, focus on what you're doing. And yeah, it's easier said than done, but it's a process, because from early age, I was comparing myself to kids, kids that are better than me or whatever at academics, or, French or whatever we were learning. Like, the kids that were better than me, I was comparing myself, and then I'd feel less than just because I was comparing myself. Well, the solution that I found is just to focus on what I'm good at, right? So what am I good at? What do I do better than most people? And just start doubling down on that, okay? Because that is where the power is. The power is within you, what you're good at, what people say you're good at, and start doubling down on that. And that's what I'm doing with these videos, because I'm really good on video. Like, I'm tooting my own horn, because I remember when I was getting my haircut a few years ago, the barber, he's a Jamaican guy, and I was telling him something, I forget what it was, but then I basically said, like, I don't want to toot my own horn, I don't want to blow my own trumpet. And he's like, listen, man, if you don't blow your own trumpet, who's gonna blow it for you? And it's true, man, it's true. So, ever since that moment, I've started owning what I'm good at, and, just talking about what I'm good at and blowing my own trumpet, because if I'm not going to sing my praises, who's going to sing my praises for me, right? So that's really the thing I wanted to share with you, is comparison is robbing you of your joy and your happiness, and it's easy to do. One of the things I stopped doing is scrolling Instagram. That's actually probably one of the worst things that you can do, is just continuously scroll Instagram for no reason. And that is literally you're just actually giving yourself more ammunition to be unhappy, really, because you're comparing yourself to all the stuff. People are living amazing lives, traveling to places you're not going to, and then you start questioning yourself, and it's all negative from that point. So time off social media is going to make you infinitely happier, and just stay in your lane and focus on what you're good at, focus on where you're going in life, and stay in your lane, tunnel vision. And that is the advice I'm taking for myself, and I hope you take some advice out of that too. So my name is Darko. I'll see you in the next video. Go to the links in the description to get all the good stuff, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.